Good morning, Aaron Groff, your mayor here, coming to you live from Fulshear Police Department as we do our annual State of the City. And usually we would love to do this in person, but given the circumstances, this is the best that we're going to be able to do at this time. Things are great in the city of Fulshear, but we do want you all to know that the thoughts of myself, council, staff, they're with all of our residents and businesses as we continue to navigate through the challenges of COVID-19. Even in the midst of this, the economy throughout Fulshear remains incredibly healthy and even robust. We continue to move forward with development throughout our city. A number of tracts are on the verge of developing if they're not already. In fact, I saw that just recently the house on Woodham Hill is gone, and that just signifies the development that's coming with Anderson and that piece of property. Additionally, we've recently negotiated DAs with the Blackburns and with Lou Waters for development on their property. We're finalizing a DA with what used to be Fulshear Farms and is now being called Cross Creek West. There's a development with the Hatcher Tract that's in the final stages. Just a number of things continuing to happen as the city continues to grow, and we do our very best to manage that growth in light of all that's happening. In fact, even during COVID-19, we are seeing inspections that are exceeding at times 100 a day. Before COVID, that was our average, 80 to 100 inspections. Today, we're running 70 to 90, but do have days that we're still over 100, which really just signifies the fact that we continue to remain fiscally strong. In fact, if you saw our sales tax returns in March, we were up over 10% over the previous year. And now we want to be cautious because we don't anticipate that same kind of return for April. We have a number of businesses that do quarterly returns, and those were reflected in our March return. But we are cautiously optimistic that things continue to stay strong in the city of Fulshear. It's been a monumental year here as development not only continues as we manage that growth, but as you know, 1093, which is just behind me as I speak right now, is completed. And we're super excited about the mobility that brings to our city. We are thankful for Commissioner Myers and his efforts in making that happen, and even for the cut through that goes from Huggins to Charger Way. But we know that that's not a long-term solution. So in fact, staff and council has been working diligently for the last year to make sure that we have acquired all the right-of-way that will extend Huggins all the way from 359 through to Charger Way. We're amping up talks to even extend that all the way to Wallace and ultimately eventually to Lou Waters' property. So that Huggins project should begin to really see some momentum and movement in the next few days as the DAs get finalized, as right-of-way acquisition is finalized, and the county begins work on the Huggins extension, and we really are excited about that project. Another project that is just weeks maybe from really getting going is the Heritage Parkway. Council approved a new agreement in March, and all of the parties along that have now come to terms, and that will begin to break ground. We'll see that project completed in 3 phases that are happening simultaneously, and that'll give us that northwest corridor throughout the city. We'll still be able to make it from 1093 to I-10 in 7 or 8 minutes. And so we're excited about that project, the mobility that it brings to our city, the development that will follow. But again, we want to continue to make sure that we are responsible with that development. Speaking of development, I've got to say that this year, one of the things that was critical for the city of Fulshear was we were able to renegotiate the terms of the mud agreements that were with Cross Creek and Fullbrook on Fulshear Creek, and those new agreements allow the city a whole lot of flexibility. So I got to say thank you to the mud directors for their work in making that happen. Not only are those new agreements done, but as you know, we are embarking on a water and wastewater master plan that was approved just a couple of years ago. And we are beginning to walk full force into that project. And in fact, we have partnered with the Gulf Coast Water Authority and with the Gulf Coast Authority on a project to bring a wastewater treatment plant just south of town. And that project is really picking up steam, and working on design, and excited about what that will mean for our community and the long-term impact that will have on our region. In addition to that, you'll notice that along 359 some water lines and wastewater lines have been laid. Those now extend past Rogers Road and will continue to facilitate much needed infrastructure throughout our city. So we're excited that we continue to move forward with those projects. As you know, this year the city embarked on a comprehensive CDO project, bringing all of our ordinance in line with one another. That project is nearing completion. We're in the final stages. In fact, had it not have been for COVID-19, we believe we would have been through that process. But we need to have some public meetings and have everybody in the room to wrap up those discussions and finalize that project. In addition, this year we were able to complete the first phase of the Primrose Park project, and in fact it is done, and we are just anticipating a ribbon cutting in short order so that we can get that park open to the public and get you out there walking that trail. I happened to go out the other day, and I'm excited about that project and what is to come there at Primrose in the very near future. As we continue to move forward and manage the growth and do the best we can for our citizens, I want you to know that I'm going to continue to push for legislation that holds the appraisal district accountable in the coming years. As our property values continue to rise. The city of Fulshear's tax rate is one of the lowest. In fact, it's the lowest in the entire county outside of Stafford, who doesn't have a property tax. So the impact of that is huge on our residents as we talk about property tax reform. And so I want you to know that I'm going to continue to press forward and to protect our residents. I'll be fighting for legislation that holds the appraisal district accountable. And I've already asked them to reevaluate their plan, to reevaluate appraisals across our city, as I believe it's an unfair tax burden upon our residents. Not only that, but I'm going to continue to fight for some legislation that will allow us a seat at the table with the subsidence district. We all know the North Fort Bend Water Authority and the fees that brings with us. This year we were able to appoint a Fulshear resident to that board. But we want to continue to do more and be transparent so you all are clearly aware of what is happening with those monies. So those are a couple of projects that are forthcoming for me and for council as we continue to move forward. We're excited about what's happening in Fulshear. And in this season, I ask that you continue to stay safe and to stay strong. I look forward to seeing you all in person very, very soon. Hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you soon.